Okay, hello, welcome everybody again. I am very pleased to announce our next speaker in the Silver Zone, Olimbi Haxhaj. And Olimbi is from Albania. The title of the presentation is Living and Aging with HIV in Albania, a Challenge in Life. And I turn it over to you, Olimbi.
Hello, dear friends and colleagues of the International AIDS Montreal Conference. First of all, I want to wish all of you and your family being healthy and safe in this difficult and strange situation for all humanity. I wish and love to be there with you, but I'm one of the most activists not be able to attend the conference in person due to visa delay procedure. In my opinion, AIDS conference attendance this time, except the professional and personal development as the most valuable part of attending is great necessity due to pandemic situation for the human-to-human connection to discuss topics, issues, and arguments on a deeper and personal level. Through this oral presentation in PowerPoint, I will manage to bring to the audience one of the story of HIV and AIDS and the radical transformation it brings to the life of the individual and not only. What's interesting related to living with HIV is that your status affects us in different ways and we start to change how life think and the overall. HIV in the beginning tended to have a dark side to me, but after a while I found that it was nothing but a part of my motivation process. My name is Olimbi and I'm resident in Albania, and actually I'm working as executive director of People Living with HIV and AIDS Albanian Association, living in Tirana and economist by the first profession and psychotherapist and specialist on public health in the following qualifications. Living with HIV for more than 28 years, mother of 3 HIV-positive children, and engaged since 2004 in the field of protection of human rights with focus on the right of people living with HIV in Albania. My historical narrative is providing lessons from the past because I'm the only one who really fights for the promotion and protection of people living with HIV's rights in Albania. My personal history became a pivot on realizing our rights for health. Life has been crucial for me. I lost my beloved husband and later I learned that my life was indispensably related with HIV/AIDS issues. The doctors hesitate to tell me the truth, but then emerged that my husband passed away from AIDS. Me and my children got tested immediately. Except for my daughter, all of us were infected with HIV. The only support that I took from the medical doctor was the positive result of the test and the message is leave immediately Albania if you want to save your children's life and then of yours, because doesn't exist any treatment or care services for positive people. So, the first, after testing on August 2003, my first reaction, of course, was very shocked. Why? I never done anything wrong in my life. And what about my kids, which was my first thinking in this moment. And in all this process, I was alone and without any support. The first thing that I faced was the isolation. I couldn't do anything else besides isolation myself. No one wanted to stay with me just because I was infected with HIV. And most of the time, I prefer to stay in my loneliness and in my pain, alone, distance, and without any kind of support. And the second step of after HIV test diagnosis was losing hope. In January, I hope to work hard a good life, just like how successful people want to live. But this hope changed because I started thinking that I was going to die either today or tomorrow. I was living a life full of fear. My hope changed because I start living a hopeless life. But in general, I am not being this kind of person to surround about the difficulties. So I start to having this kind of efforts to survive. And two most things that make me alive and having sex a sense was love, and work. Suicide, no. I am not this fatality person to think about having this surrounded about HIV status and all the situation that I faced. The status of HIV positive, the treatment for it, and good health have no difference. And in this situation, I've been without any job and, of course, lonely. But I decide to live and work. And then I enter in the phase of acceptance. So this is me. I am an HIV positive person, and doesn't bother me anymore. Everyone has its own life. I don't see myself like people see me or how they perceive me. I understand that the infection has happened because I am a human being. And I understand very well that means isolation, go through depression, and of course the fatality. So those was a lesson learned from life. Take care for yourself and live your life. And the first thing of yourself is to love and respect yourself, even to be a HIV positive person. To be indifferent, don't think what the others have to say about you, but what you really think of yourself. Be informed as much as you can, live a healthy life, and be happy for every moment and enjoy every moment of your life. Obstacles, of course. Dying is difficult, but how deal about living with HIV, and especially in country like Albania, with a low prevalence country, and being, of course, a woman in a masculine society, which is obstacle double or triple in a HIV status. Fear for dying in the beginning, yes, because I didn't have this kind of information that I can accept to living a long life. In the beginning, I felt that I have 2 or 3 more years, like my beloved husband, going through all the process until he passed away. But after, with information, getting information and support from my friends and colleagues and doctors, of course, I thought that talk with you, close circle of people about your HIV status and tell them three things. I am HIV positive person. I trust you and appreciate what you, that it's why I'm sharing with you, and I'm strong enough to see your reaction. The choice to talk with others about HIV positive status, it was mine. And I only talk about it with those people who I trust. The importance of support, it was very, very tools that I used to survive in this very difficult situation. Instead of isolation, I have decided to lean on the people and friends who are close to me to stay physically and mentally healthy as much as possible. It's a long way to go, yes, I know, and it's multi-play direction, and I needed to have choice to put the right direction to go through. And conclusion, how to live with HIV. Your life is not defined by your disease. It's a new journey in our life. Now we start to living with as HIV positive person, achieving sometimes and something small each day, and be real with your emotion. Then you can move on. Eat, sleep, and live a good life. Of course, have a balance between your job and your free time. Friends, that's more precious support. Talk about yourself and living with HIV, but at the same time, listen and learn. And there are a lot of things, but at the end, give love and support for others. So you can just expect that from the others as well. Living with HIV in Albania is really an obstacle because I couldn't find nothing from the system, only the HIV positive test and nothing else. So this is a wall that I have find in the beginning, and a lot of obstacles there, that are access for antiretroviral, drugs for infection, opportunistic infection, stigma and discrimination, psychological support, prevention from mother to child transmission, healthy and integration, social, education for my children, employment, information, family planning, so confidentiality, isolation, co-infection. So there are a lot of needs for people living with HIV that is a multidisciplinary approach towards this diagnosis. But at the end, of course, we need the help of the others and support and cooperation to live our life with dignity, self-esteem, equality, and to live our like every other human being. The future, of course, it's full of hopes. But what I represent, what is interesting related to living with HIV is that your status affects you in different ways, and you start to change how you live, how you think, and of the overall of you. HIV at the beginning and has a tendency to be a dark thing in mind. But when I started to really think about it, I found out that it was nothing else but a part of my process to be motivated. By acting like this, I have created more foundation, a more paved ground, more consolidated, and with more trust in why I should stay here, to work and to fight. I'm extremely grateful and at the same time lucky, blessed that I have beside me supportive friends that push me to move ahead in a safe space where I can search, learn, empower, grow, and present myself. And this is an ongoing process. Of course, HIV has been a perfect filter of myself. I am thankful for orient towards safe solution for myself. Because of it, I now doesn't lose my time and refuse to do it by interesting on people who don't appreciate and love me. And I continue to develop real relationship with my close people and my true friends. I've created and found a whole supporting system which was necessary, but at the same time efficient for me. A new life vision, of course. My definition of success has become more powerful and meaningful. With time, I've given up spending my time and energy in issues which life confronts to you as a person with HIV. I understand and convince myself that there are no limits if you are clear with yourself and what you want to achieve. My life continues to be difficult because I have to choose and make important decisions, issues life as a HIV positive woman and as mother of 3 HIV positive children. But at the end, I'm stronger by love, not by choice. However, through my diagnosis, I have found and empowered myself. I have found strength, courage, a voice, and a happy inner call to be motivated to live. At the end, I am a healthy and happy person with a status, but living and enjoying my life and my family. I am okay with being surrendered not to HIV, but the facts of being human and mortal as part of a process that had and will have the same course over years and centuries. HIV, it's not a moral issue, but a life one. Every new case of infection is a tragedy, and every death is a loss. This is my contact. If you want to have more information regarding my situation. After 19 years as executive director of people living with HIV in Albania, I'm engaged and become an active member of national, regional, and international forum and activities. because I know that the majority civil society involvement is considered as important partner in the war against HIV and AIDS. Strongly, I demand the stakeholders in my country to hear the voice of children living with HIV, the voice of people living with HIV, because in everything that we say and do inside the part of our spirit, of our pains and life love, in daily continuous efforts to manage the virus in order to live with dignity, self-esteem and equality, even being HIV positive person. At the end, I am a healthy and happy person with the status, but in being living and enjoy my life and my family. We have only memories from the past 19 years of struggles, and when we are beautiful, you understand that life will be valuable to you, making feel good about yourself and find some rest. We even today have many beautiful and happy moments together. I see joy and happiness in my children's eyes. My life goals and motivation is to invest in changing health and social realities in my country for the communities representing and the health support, encouragement and assistance for everyone to continue fighting for the life in a place that values human beings and welcomes.
Thank you so much, Olimbi. Hold on, I'm just going to stop sharing your slides for a second so that people can see you a little bit bigger on the screen.
So just go and look for the answers.
Okay.
Right outside the separate network.
So there I am. Hello, how are you? Does anyone have any questions for Olimbi about what it's like to grow older with HIV in Albania for her? No? Okay. Well, I have a question if no one else has a question. What is one strategy that you think is really important to you living well as you age with HIV that you would recommend for other people who are aging with HIV?
So we are activists and we start fighting for our life when we was young. I was around 36 years old when I started working for HIV. So we opened the path for all the peoples coming behind us, because I have been the only one speaking openly about HIV status in Albania. I am the only one represent the HIV face in Albania. So we start being younger and we are aging with HIV. So we know perfectly what we need to aging with HIV and to be retired with HIV. So it's another struggle that we need to win with our life. In the same time, we are not waiting that the system provides some services for us. We are asking, because it's a human being, it's not just a privilege, it's a human being issue, and we need to enjoy our life with dignity, even to be HIV positive and to aging and to retire healthy and supporting from the system, to having this kind of universal access that we are asking, and this golden standard that we need, like a human being.
And do you find that your health care that you do receive right now, your HIV care, takes into account your aging related needs, or do you think that there are gaps that need to be filled?
Yes, of course, that it's a lot of gaps to be faced, because we live in a country with a few resources and with not so standardized health system to provide not only for HIV positive people, but even for general population. So we are making the system more human and more reactor regarding our needs. And of course, we need the collaboration of the politics and service provider, because we need to have this triangle to make the things moving forward, and to have this kind of effects that we want from the reaction of the system toward us.
And one last question for you, which is, because you're one of very few people who speaks openly about your status in Albania, and I wonder where you get your peer support. Have you been able to connect with people in other countries around the world, across Europe? How are you connecting with other people living with HIV worldwide?
So I am part of a very a large network and coalition all around in Balkan region, in Europe, and in the international level. I'm member of many networks and group organization of people living with HIV. And of course, I have used my personal experience especially in Balkan region, because I've been the first women speaking about the right of the children living with HIV, the right for being in the kindergarten, to have access for treatment, to have access for education, to be integrated in the education system. I can remember here a sentence coming by one of the parents when they wanted to exclude my twins children from the school. They said, I quote, "Take your children with you and kill yourself and you, and leave our and our children alone." So there are words that hurt you. Because my children have the right to go to all the level of the education like every children in Albania. But it's the legal aspect, it's okay. The community, it's this kind of negative approach towards of you. And in this period, I didn't allow the system to create this kind of precedent to exclude the HIV positive from the school. Meanwhile, in the region has been the same situation, but with the negative effects for the education process of the HIV positive children. So in this situation, our story, our achievement has been like a model and a good experience to share in the region. So for me, being part of the network has been very supportive, and it's been part of my motivation and my empower, because you can find support, power to colleagues, you can gather experience from the people who previously go through the same procedure or the same issue regarding stigma, discrimination, access for services, and so on. And if we speak about stigma and discrimination in theory, with my life, I have proved all the meaningful of stigma and discrimination. Not only like HIV person, but HIV positive women, mother of children living with HIV. My children at the school has been for, now they are 21 years, has been all the period of being at school, and the so-called HIV positive excellent students. So like the second surname. And this is a kind of society when my children has been growth educated, and now they are studying at the university for medicine.
Wow, congratulations. That's a big accomplishment for a mom.
Thank you. Thank you.
So one last question. Do you think that HIV and aging is on the radar in Albania, or is it just kind of a relatively new topic?
Yeah, of course, it's a new topic, but I am here, and of course, I am able to fight even this obstacle and struggle in my life, which is maybe the last one.
Thank you so much, Olimbi. I really appreciate you joining us, even though you weren't able to be here in person.
Thank you so much, and I wish you a successful conference.
Thank you. Everyone is applauding in case you cannot hear them.
Thank you so much.
Okay, take good care. Bye.
Bye.